This video is an introduction and a setup for the Quick Set Object Placer. So the first thing to do is go to the Asset Store and search for it. Quick Set Object Placer. And there's a free one and a $10 one. And I'll bet the $10 one's great, but I haven't bought it. I've only gotten the free one and it's pretty awesome. So go to Import. Now, when you do this, the first time you do it, then it's going to bring up a warning saying, hey, the scripts in this were only last built against Unity 4, so they might not work in 5. For this specific thing, I've already tested it out and it works great. But it is a warning worth paying attention to if you're going to buy something that's expensive, and it brings up that warning. It's worth considering whether that might because it might not work at all. Who knows? But I haven't found anything that doesn't work at all. The worst I've seen is something that just didn't work. Like one part of it, 1/10 of it didn't work as advertised. Okay, so I just imported it in. And now what? Well, there's actually an instruction manual in here, but I've already read it. So all you do, let's go back to the scene, is go to Window Quick Set, and you add the Quick Set Object Placer. It makes this object, and it says not to rename it, so don't. So the Quick Set Object Placer has these menus here. And the simplest way to use it is just add an object group, and let's create a simple cube. And it's just sitting there at this transform, and let's say drag that to the Quick Set Object group. Drag them to this thing. Then checkbox and start object painting. Paint, 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 paint. Wait, it's not setting on a grid. What's going on? Because that's the intention here. The intention here is that you can set things on a grid, or that's part of the intention. I mean, this is pretty cool, being able to build things up like this, even though they overlap. But you can imagine if you want to set this up on a grid, and I want to make a copy of it, and I want to put it right next to it. Well, you can't. It doesn't snap. So that's pretty close, but it's not exact. And that one's pretty close, but it's not exact. And that one's pretty close, but it's not exact. And one way you can do this manually, which is kind of painstaking, is to move it by 1. So in the Z direction, I could probably move it 14, and it would go 1. I can make another copy and make it 15. Well, that's kind of painful. And I didn't make a copy, but anyway, that's kind of painful. Duplicate and 15. So you could do that. But the Quick Set Object Placer is one of many grid-based tools to help you not have that problem at all. I'm going to delete all these. Let's go back to this. And I've got the object group. Oh, I accidentally deleted my cube. Oh, here's another one, apparently. Okay. And let's put that in the Quick Set Object Placer. Here. Checkbox. And before I start object painting, I'm going to say snap X and Z and Y. So start object painting. I don't know if you can see that. Let's zoom in. Okay. It's white. Paint here. Object, object, object. Now, that one that works really well. And you can't drag, I don't think. It doesn't work, but you can move it pretty quick and put things all over the place. That's really nice. So there are a few advanced things. The next video I want to show you how to adjust these boxes, and then also how to make a prefab for use with this, because there's a little quirk to it.